I can't believe that you sat through the whole of that film whilst knitted.
I like to keep my hands busy during a film. It helps me relax.
I used that excuse when I was watching Basic Instinct, but they still threw me out.
So, what did you think of it?
Well, wouldn't have been my choice. French with subtitles.
So?
So? I'm supposed to be watching a film, not reading a book. I mean, when I'm choosing a book, I don't go for one with just loads of pictures in it.
Yes, you do. I'll hail a cab.
Hang on. It's a nice evening. Maybe we could walk back.
Veux-tu promenader avec moi?
Oui. Le petit poisson est sur la table.
Pourquoi pas? Après tout, c'est un soir d'été chaud et la claire de lune est magnifique.
Oui, le petit poisson est sur la table.
Come on in. Let's do it. It's a nice night.
Pain au chocolat.
You sure this is the right way? Why don't these places ever have signs?
Well, there's a number to ring here if you want hard action tonight.
That's not very helpful.
I know. I was supposed to get a signal down here.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, they're just kids. When I was their age, I was always hanging around underground places like this.
And from the north, you've probably done a pit. Come on, let's just go another way.
Don't be silly. You're with me. I know how to handle myself.
Please, no more of the Basic Instinct story.
The thing to do is walk through here like you own the place.
You certainly look like a man who went to a subway full of urine.
Well, it's pretty good, wasn't it? I'm surprised if Len Goodman doesn't give us a 7 for that.
Sorry, can't let you through the tunnel without paying the tunnel tax.
The what?
The tunnel tax. You want to go through, then you've got to pay.
Oh, come on, Lee, we'll go a different way.
Well, you see, the thing is, you're already in the tunnel, so you're going to have to pay the tax.
Have you ever thought of working for Ryanair?
Look, we don't have any money.
So what's in the bag, then?
Nothing, just some knitting.
That's all right, we like a bit of knitting, don't we, lads?
I thought they warned you a lot about sharing needles.
There. See?
I'm only messing with you, sweetheart. Go on, put your knitting away. I'll take the whole bag.
Hey, give that back!
Don't worry, Lucy. I'll deal with this. And don't try and stop me. You're not going to. Right. Hey, get back here!
I'm going to do you a favour, Lee. You want to look like the big man in front of your wife?
She's not my wife.
Or whatever, your girlfriend.
She's not my girlfriend either.
All right, some random woman that you're banging.
All right, let's go with that.
So, here's your chance to be the big man. I'll fight you for the bag.
Yeah, because nothing says raw, unfettered masculinity like two men fighting over a handbag.
Your choice, Lee.
It's not fair. I don't know your name.
They call me Razorblade.
Oh, that was my mother's name. Well, Jeanette. The best a man can get.
They call me Razorblade because I know how to use one.
Come in handy when you reach puberty.
What did you say?
Nothing. You're lucky.
And why am I lucky?
Because you have won a free handbag. Well done. Do you think you're right, Lucy? Maybe we should go the other way.
Well, usually the chances of recovering property in these circumstances is slim. But you say your bag contained a tracker. What kind exactly?
Chocolate chip.
I see. So, can you describe this gang?
Yeah, there was about 5 of them.
There were 3.
Was there? I didn't notice. I was too busy tackling the ringleader.
What makes you think he was the ringleader?
Because he had a top hat and he was carrying a whip and he was stood on the back of a horse.
He was armed with a whip.
No, there was no weapon.
No weapon.
Well, hang on. He could have headbutted me. There's your weapon.
OK, I'll make a note of that. Suspect had a head. So, can you describe this ringleader?
Yeah, same as the others. White, about 19 years old.
More like 15.
Well, he was at least 16 or 17.
Well, so why did you say he was 19?
because by the time you arrest him, he probably will be.
Sir, you have to be as accurate as possible in your description. It doesn't help us if you over-dramatise.
I'm not over-dramatising.
Height?
About 6'7".
I'd say about 5'8".
Well, he looked taller than that from where I was.
Where were you? On your knees?
Yes, I was in a dark underpass in front of a young man carrying a handbag, and I was on my knees.
So, we've got 3 to 5 white boys between 15 and 19 from 5'8" to 6'7". Well, I'll just pop off and arrest One Direction and we're sorted.
Are you sure you're not a strippogram?
Well, we'll do our best and we'll be in touch.
Sorry, why aren't you going out now and arresting these people?
Well, your description is a little vague, sir, and we don't prioritise knitting thieves.
Well, you should. They might be following a pattern.
And you're absolutely sure about this?
Of course. And I'm flattered.
You don't think it's wrong?
It's the most natural thing in the world. I'm a guy, you're a girl.
So I am. I wonder what these things were doing here. Oh, Mike, I feel like my whole life has been leading up to this moment. I thought tonight was poker night.
So did he, by the look of him.
Anyway, thanks again, Mike, for everything. And I'll see you at work tomorrow and we'll chat some more then.
Okay. Bye.
Why do I suddenly feel like a gooseberry?
Because you're bitter and nobody really likes you?
Who was that?
It's just a guy from the office. What do you think of him, though? He's all right, isn't he? Nice features, good build.
Sorry, are you thinking of sleeping with him or listing him on rightmove.com?
I'm not going out with him. I told you, he's just a guy from work.
A guy from work who you want to know if I find attractive. Either you've got designs on him or you're thinking of roping me into a threesome.
You've got the wrong end of the stick.
Now, don't start giving out positions I haven't agreed yet.
Mike's going back home to Australia next month to live. I'm not having any kind of relationship with him, OK?
OK.
I'm just having his baby, that's all.
You're having his baby?
Yep.
You mean you're doing some babysitting for him?
No.
You mean baby's the name of his dog, which you're having when he goes back to Australia?
No.
You mean you're learning to play the clarinet, you just accidentally got every word in that sentence wrong?
I suppose I have to tell you at some point. I've decided I want a baby. I'm not in a relationship, so Mike is providing the sperm. That's it.
Since when did you want a kid?
I've always planned on having a baby eventually, but recently I've been thinking it might never happen.
Why not?
Oh, you know, tick, tick, tick.
What, because you've got tics?
I mean, I'm not getting any younger, Lee. I don't want to end up childless. I want a baby. Now.
With some bloke from work?
I initially thought of using an anonymous sperm donor, but I don't know, it all felt too impersonal. I want to know what they look like.
They all look exactly the same. They're like little tiny tadpoles.
Not the sperm, the man. I know a lesbian couple who involved a male friend this way, and it worked for them.
Who would have thought I could ever hear that sentence and feel unhappy?
There's nothing sexual about this, Lee. I'm not sleeping with Mike. He provides a sample at the clinic, which is frozen until I go in to receive it.
Oh, so that's why Mum's gone to Iceland. You hardly know him.
That's the whole point. I don't want him to have anything to do with the baby. It'll be purely a functional, unemotional, biological process.
Whoa, keep talking, C-3PO.
Oh, would you rather I shag him?
No.
Good, because I'm not going to. And I'm not doing it the other way either. It's disgusting.
What other way?
Well, you know, the old turkey baster.
No, I don't think I've met that one, just the Aussie.
I approached Mike a few days ago and explained my situation. Told him I was worried about getting older and wanted to take things into my own hands.
Lucky Mike.
Is that what you're going to do then? Listen to what I'm saying and then make childish double entendres?
No.
Mike's planning to help me. This is a real chance, and I'm not going to let it slip through my fingers. Once this is done, he'll be out of my hair for good.
Well, I don't know much about these sort of things, but if it's in your hair, you might want to ask him to try again. You don't know anything about this person. The child could grow up to be an alcoholic or a psychopath. Or even worse, that kid could grow up to be an Australian. Imagine that, wearing flip-flops at a wedding and stinking of charcoal and fish. Look, You and the Aussie might be in agreement about this, but there's a third person who doesn't get a say.
Yes, I know, and of course I've thought about that. And yes, it will have an unusual start in life, but lots of children have... Hang on. You're talking about yourself, aren't you?
Oh, who did you mean? Oh. What if Mike comes back from Australia, changes his mind and wants to assert his parental rights? I mean, have you got a contract?
Mike's doing me a favour. I can hardly ask him to sign a contract at the same time.
Well, I'd be impressed if you could sign a contract at the same time. I struggle to even keep hold of the remote. Morning. Eggs done the natural way. Nice change. Look, what you told me came as a shock. It's why I reacted the way I did. But since then, I've slept on it and seen things from your point of view.
And?
And I still think you're completely f***ing mental. However, I will respect your decision, whatever you decide.
So if I do go ahead with this, you'll support me?
Can I just clarify, when you say support, do you mean in a moral sense as a friend, with no financial help or time commitments whatsoever?
Yes.
Of course I'll support you. But if you go ahead and do it, I still think you're making a huge mistake.
Well, believe it or not, your opinion does matter to me. I don't know Mike that well, and I don't know what he might want to do in the future. Like you say, I don't even know where I stand legally with something like this.
So you're not going to go ahead with it?
Oh, no, I'm still going to go ahead with it. I just don't want the sperm donor to be someone I hardly know.
Actually, thinking about it, that Mike fella did seem like a decent bloke.
Apparently, you were right.
Great swimmers, the Australians. He'll have sperm like salmon.
I'm asking you to give me the most precious gift a man can give a woman.
Oh, I don't know. Debenhams gift vouchers are pretty good.
All I'm asking is for you to think about it. You can always say no.
All right. No, I won't think about it.
OK? Fine. I understand.
Good.
I mean, it's a really big favour, isn't it? To ask you to put Biff's sperm into a dish and then have absolutely nothing else to do with it for the rest of your life.
There's more to it than that, Lucy. You are asking me to be a dad.
No, I'm not. There will be no commitment or involvement whatsoever. That's not what a dad is.
It is in my family. There must be somebody else you know really well and trust.
There isn't.
What about your brother? Oh, no, maybe not.
You made me realise last night that it has to be someone I'm close to. It can only be you. There's no alternative.
Of course there's an alternative. The alternative is you don't have a baby.
You're right. That is the alternative, I suppose. Don't have a baby. Don't fulfill my dreams, grow old, childless and alone.
Oh, not the tears. Why does everything with you come back to bodily fluids? Please, Lucy, stop crying. All right, I'll think about it.
Will you?
Yes, just stop the tears.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hang on, I haven't agreed yet. I don't know how I feel about giving my sperm to a woman without sleeping on it first.
As long as you consider it, that's enough.
I wish you were always this positive every time I thought about knocking one out.
Charlie's got his school report. It's brilliant.
Shouldn't I be the one getting the kiss?
We're switching things around this year. You get put in a box and stored in the attic.
With the others. A. He's got the Scouse hat-trick. Hang on, what's this? Miss Anstis, English, C.
Oh, we don't want all A's, do we? We don't have to start doing a paternity test.
Despite reasonable grades, I'm concerned that Charlie is in danger of becoming the class clown.
Oh, ignore her. Miss Anstis is a bit uptight.
We need to go and see her, find out what Charlie's been up to.
We? Schooling's usually my thing, like getting rid of spiders and keeping the kids alive.
I get involved in school stuff. I help raise money with that cake stall.
Helping is baking and selling, not buying and eating.
I'm not kidding, Lucy.
OK, fine. We'll go and pick up Charlie together tomorrow and go and see Miss Anstis. But I'm telling you now, he's absolutely fine.
Tell me that when he's living under a bridge sniffing glue.
Just can't tolerate those Haircut 100 albums, but will you please update your drug references?
I miss those little toilets.
Oh, bring back memories of school days.
I mean, I literally missed them. It went everywhere. Yeah, all right. We tried to pee and crouch at the same time.
Yeah, I wonder what that must be like.
Mum, I'm just going to see Izzy.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and yet when I do that to women...
Right, come on. We need to get to Florence Nightingale. The classrooms, they're all named after British historical figures.
What happened to classrooms having numbers and canes and little piles of sawdust covering up sick?
Well, things have changed, which you'd have noticed if you were a bit more involved in school life.
I'm involved. Excuse me. I'm looking for my son's teacher, Miss Anstis.
I am Miss Anstis.
Sorry, didn't recognise you without your cakes.
Wait here. No messing about.
OK.
I was talking to Charlie.
Right. I knew we shouldn't have touched that bottle that said drink me. So, Charlie's school report?
I'm afraid Charlie does have a tendency to draw attention to himself. Today, for example, he disrupted lessons by coughing.
Coughing?
She means on purpose, Lucy. It's a classroom classic. They were doing that back in my day.
Back in your day, they probably had TB.
Charlie was trying to make the class laugh. He does that sort of thing a lot. Do you know what he called me last week instead of Miss Anstis?
Miss Ant's tits?
No. He called me Morag.
Oh, that's not nice.
That's my name. Obviously, he found out and decided to say it for silly comic effect. And I think it's disrespectful.
Of course it is. And just now when I said Ant's tits. Just because your name sounds like... Not saying you've got, you know...
Fingers on lips.
I've tried to explain to Charlie that it'll be him that suffers in the long run.
Of course it will. Miss Anstis.
For instance, we're about to be visited by the children's author, Johnny Lucas, for a storytelling contest. Each class selects a child to read a story. The winning school gets £1,000 worth of books, and the winning child gets a trip to Legoland. I was considering Charlie to read for our class.
Oh, that's great.
As I say, was. I'm afraid Charlie's story just went for cheap laughs and was entirely inappropriate. Perhaps I should read a little bit to you. I must warn you, the language is very vivid, and you may deem it unsuitable for a child.
Oh, well. At least he's written a warning.
Hooray! Cried the little boy, as the witch was bludgeoned to death when the woodsman smashed up her stupid, ugly, smelly face that looked like a cow's bum.
Bludgeoned? That's a good word.
Then the little boy took the woodsman's axe and chopped the stupid witch's stinky, old, fat, blobby body up and put her in the pot of boiling water.
I blame Heston Blumenthal.
One by one, he threw the bleeding body parts into the cauldron. Cauldron spelled with 2 O's. First, he threw in her fat arms. Then he threw in her horrible, hairy legs. Then he threw in her stinky, slimy intestines and her massively monstrous butt cheeks. Then finally, he threw in her foo-foo.
How many O's in foo-foo?